All right, Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory and fear to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect striving for salvation during these electrifying times. And the few sisters that's tuning in, I say Shalom. I want to start off by going directly into one of my favorite scriptures, because it's timing, man. Timing is everything. Timing is a very, very important component in life right now. Like knowing exactly what time you're in. You know, it's already you know what I'm saying, a precious commodity that you can't get back. You know, you miscalculate your time and what you putting yourself into as far as how you spending your time. You can't ever get that back, man. You can't get it back. And the most beautiful thing about time is knowing the time frame you're in when it comes to the prophecies of the scriptures. So this is Romans 13:11. It says, in that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And that's the beautiful part about timing right now. Time is because our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Salvation is closer than what it was a few years ago. You know, the times that we're in now is what we really been waiting for from the moment you entered into this truth. The moment the Most High woke you up, these are the times that you've been waiting for to see, and we're all able to see them. And this scripture is Ephesians 5:14. These are my two timing precepts. It says, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua shall give thee light. What is the light? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the scriptures, and knowing the Most High dealing with you through the Holy Spirit, Rakakadash. Seeing then that ye walk circumspectly meaning you watching, you know, looking around. And that's not just talking about just turning around and looking, see what's behind you or beside you. It's about looking at the times, you know, looking around the world and see what's happening throughout the earth, seeing what's going on in other countries, what's going on with Russia, what's going on with China, what the United States doing. The whole world is looking at this. Just looked at the debate that just happened a few days ago. You know, this is the whole world is zooming in on what? Who's going to be the next president of the United States? Because that's going to have a lot to do with foreign policy and things that's going to go on between the other countries and nations. These are things that are going to be happening in the near future that's going to help, like, formulate, you know, the time that we're in. You know, things are going to be happening more and more. You know, watching and seeing what's going on and how it measures up to what the scriptures say. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. How are the days evil? Because you have, matter of fact, so let me get the precept. Because the days are evil for the time, things that are coming. You know, everything that's, you know, the things that's coming, you know, before us. You gotta watch for these things to see what's happening, because there's gonna be a time where our people are gonna be caught out there. They're not gonna know what the hell's going on. You know, they're not gonna know what's happening. These things are gonna be happening in people's faces, and they're not gonna know what the hell's going on. Primarily, you Israelites. Because you haven't had the Most High so far out of your scope that you have no idea, because you've been in these harlot houses, you've been listening to these pastors and everything that they've been telling you, and they've been leading you astray. You don't have no idea what's happening. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved of it. Who is the he? The elect. The elect is going to be saved out of that time of Jacob's trouble. But 2/3 of our people, you're going to get caught up into that time of Jacob's trouble. It's really designed for you. Those times are for the Most High to place his punishments on you and his judgments, so that you may perish with the so-called white man, who's what? Your daddy. He's your father. You've been following after his pernicious ways, and you've been doing the things that he put out in the earth for to do as if it's okay. The scriptures here, blueprint is right in front of you. The blueprint is right in front of you. You have it right here. This is the scriptures is known as everything good, man. This is the treasure. This is the serum. This is the antidote. Anything you need to fix you is here. All you have to do is dig in it. But the Most High has to be dealing with you according to the Spirit for you to have the understanding. Because you can read and read and read till your face is blue, but that don't mean you're gonna know what to do. That don't mean you're gonna know what the scriptures is talking about. Because the Most High, the Most High is like the master magician, man. Like like he can dangle something in your face, and you think you see it, but you don't even know what you're seeing. Or you think you know what you're seeing, but it's not even that what you thought you saw. That's how the Most High is. He'll let you hear something, and you think you know what it's talking about, but you don't have no idea what it's talking about. It has nothing to pertain to you. That's why Yahushua, when he was speaking those parables, and because he was speaking to the masses, people would listen. They wouldn't have an idea what he's talking about. The reason why he spoke that way, because it wasn't for them, and the disciples would pull him to the side, and they would ask him, you know, why are you speaking in parables? You know, why are you talking in code? Why are you speaking in these dark sayings and things like that? And he explained to them, because it ain't for them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But the kingdom of heaven, the mysteries is known is for you. The kingdom is for you. This scripture I was looking for. Alright, this is Isaiah 6, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, "Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, I here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive it not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, which is their mind, and convert and be healed. Then said I, Lo, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly destroyed, or desolate." So that means that the Most High is going to keep the 2/3 minds closed, eyes closed, and ears closed, while all being open, not seeing and understanding, and hearing and receiving understanding. They're not going to get it until the Most High sends the destruction, until the cities be utterly wasted. And that means they have to die and go into the spiritual realm, go up to the spirit world, where they'll be in their right mind. Then they'll know the truth. That's when they'll be able to perceive it, hear it, understand it, and see it. When they become converted, that conversion from them is death. Converting from life into in the physical realm into death, going into the spiritual realm. So they're going to go from here to there, which is their judgment. Then they're going to instantly know that they were living wrong, that they were, and the men that were out there. That's why the scriptures say, then they shall know that a prophet has been among them. How would they know? Because when they get in the spirit world, everything, when the Most High just open up their understanding to see that the things they heard from us was true. So the things that they were hearing was true. So then what? They're gonna know that they were living, under the ways of the so-called white man, which was wrong. That's not the way that they were supposed to be living. That's their conversion. But the conversion of the 1/3 and the elect is being done now when the Most High opened us up, our minds up to knowing that this is the truth. And this is what we should be following, and this is what we should be doing. Bear with me for a moment. All right, this is John 12. I'm gonna start at verse 37. It says, but though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That they saying of Esaias the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who had believed our report, and to whom had the arms of the Lord been revealed. That's being revealed to his elect. His elect is the ones who's receiving that, and the elects are the ones who's going to accept that. 2/3 is not going to accept it. See, a 2/3 may come up on a brother's video online, or even out in if a brother's out teaching, and they can't receive it. They'll hear it, and instantly they'll have a problem with what they're hearing. Because it's not what they've been told. Matter of fact, let me hold this. Let me get a quick precept. This is Jeremiah 16 and 18. It says, and first will I recompense their iniquity and their sins double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. Because our people were doing that back in our holy land, and then our people are doing that to this day. And then now there's these gutter rats, the so-called white man, you Edomites are in that land, and you're doing the same thing. Verse 19. It says, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So that's what our people have been inheriting. We've been inheriting lies from generation to generation. Our forefathers have been handing down lies each generation, and each generation before us have captured those lies and then delivered those lies unto us, including myself, including every single brother that's in this truth. We were all in a Gentile state of mind. We were all given these, plantation Christianity. We was always depending on what different type of denomination your family received, the lies that were handed down from them. From there's over 100 different denominations, man. And then there's the non-denomination, which is a denomination in itself. It's just not what the other denominations are spreading. Or whether it's let's name some of them, Mormons. If you're a Mormon, our people are caught up in that. Islam, our people are caught in that. This new age religion that's being pushed, Scientology, all these different lies that had came down from before us and has been brought on to us. We were part of that, Each brother have a cycle that we went through to get to where we're at now. The Most High purged us. That's why in Revelation 14 it says that you were, the elect was redeemed from amongst men. What would they redeem? Me and bought back. The Most High he had bought us back unto him by Yahushua. Yahushua was basically the down payment. When he got up on that cross, he was the down payment to the Most High as basically to free us from the world and bring us back into the truth. Ultimately, the whole nation. He died. He got on the cross, and that was the adoption of the nation of Israel. But his blood being shed and everything he went through was for the elect, because 2/3 of our people had placed that generational curse on themselves when they said to crucify him. When they let him get strung up there, by the hands of the Romans, they the ones that pushed it. And since they pushed it, they said let that blood be on their hands, you know, and on their heads and their children's heads. So with that being said, that blood that Yahushua shed was not the covering of them, but to cover who? Cover the hopeful elect. Let me read this last two verse. Verse 20. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods, which our people have done? That's why when you read in, matter of fact, let me hold this. Get a quick precept. Bear with me. Because our people have made all types of idols as a god. There's not a god. It's Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 8. It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, and as well as it, so like it, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible, it was called God. So that the things that our people worship, whether it's wood, stone, you know, it's an object, imagination, whatever it is that a man or a woman find themselves worshiping above and before Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is an idol, and it was made as a god to these people because they worship it. They're gonna be they're cursed, and what they created in their mind to be worshipped is cursed. Whether it's a physical object or whether it's a figment of their imagination, it's gonna be a curse unto them, and it's a curse itself. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. So the Most High is going to He even gonna visit these Gentiles too, because they're pushing different idols out there that our people worship as well. So you have these idols that are made by Israelites that are worshipped. Then you have idols by the other nation, which is they're well within their rights to create those idols to worship, but it's put out there that our people, the Hebrew Israelites, are worshiping it as well. We have our own power. We're the only nation of people that have a living, true power, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. These other idols are made are not real powers. They're not a power at all, and it has to bow down to the true power, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination and a stumbling block to the souls of men, and snares to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and inventions of them of the corruption of life. And that's true. That's exactly what that is. You know what I'm saying? These beginning of the beginning of creating these idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, which is meaning the worshiping of another god. So you Israelites out there have failed. You know, it's like, you know, you basically committed a spiritual fornication, meaning you went off, because we're supposed to be joined unto the Most High by Yahushai. But when you go and you bow down and you worship this other, you basically creeping spiritually and going having a spiritual affair with some other idol, some other god that's not a real true God. They can't do for you. It's like a woman is married to a man, and this man is doing everything for her. Bought her house. He gives her money. He keeps her fed, clothed, give her the things that she wants, and he takes care of her. But then she runs down the street and jump in bed with some clown, some loser, some quote unquote bad boy, some dude that ain't got nothing going for himself at all and can't do nothing that her husband is doing for her, but yet she go lay because she's enticed by that dude, right? Because it's flash, he's flashy, he's a bad boy, he's a biker, or whatever the hell, our people, he's a thug, he's a street dude, or they drawn to that type of bull. You know, so you go and lay with this guy and you done blew everything with the man that you know, that was doing everything for you just so you can have a cheap thrill with some dude down the street. Now you lose it all. Now you don't have that man's covering. He ain't taking care of you no more. You lost that. Same thing with our people. You're gonna worship these other idols when the Most High Yahweh Shai do everything for us. We are dependent on him. We're not codependent on these other idols that are out there that the so-called white man allowed to be in your face as if it's a power or truth to something to be worshipped. It's Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai has done everything unto us, and our people have a history of doing that. Our people saw exactly the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai when he delivered us out of Egypt, yet get in the wilderness and want to create a false idol to be worshipped, because our people just got to have something in their face to worship. Verse 13. For neither were there from the beginning, neither shall there be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end, which is those idols. And our people, what's going to come to an end is those idols being worshipped and those who worship the idol, which is our people, man. You Israelites out there, you be worshiping these false idols. You get back in Jeremiah. Verse 20, read verse 20 again. Jeremiah 16:20. It says, shall a man make a god unto himself, and they are no God? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know, I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And you will know that. Everyone is going to know that. Us, listen to the truth, we know that. And those that are in the world, you will know that. These are things that you're not going to be able to get. You ain't going to be able to get around or beside. You're going to have to get behind it. But actually, it's going to get behind you. The Most High going to get behind you and judge you. Back in John 12, and we'll pick back up at 38. Actually, 39. It says, therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he had blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogues. For they love the praising of men more than the praising of Yahweh. Yahweh Shai cried and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me. So like, I'm gonna read that again. Yahweh Shai cried and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me saith him that seeth him that sent me. I have come a light into the world, and whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And that's the elect, the hopeful elect, which will ultimately become the elect. They don't abide in darkness. See, are you 2/3 of our people? You're in darkness. You are the nations. Darkness is your only option. You cannot come into the light. This is not for you. Just like Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is not your God, and you're not to be worshipped. And I'll prove that real quick. He's not your God, so you're not to worship him. So you'll never have a take in this truth. You don't have a stake in the kingdom. You just have a stake in the slavery that's coming your way. This is Joel 2, and I'm gonna start at 26. It says, and ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of your power that had dwelt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. This is a future prophecy coming towards the elect of the nation of Israel. That's who that's applying to. That's not applying to the 2/3, because you're not going to eat and have plenty. You're not going to be taken care of wondrously. You're going to be put in these concentration camps. You're going to be eating your own flesh, your own family's flesh. You're going to be resort to cannibalism, because you're not going to have, you're not going to be, the Most High is not going to provide and do these things for you. Matter of fact, let me hold that. I'm going to get right back to that. Matter of fact, I'll come to that in a second. Let me finish where I was at. Back in Joel. Verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. So you other nations, it's clearly right there that and I went into this to that last day at camp, that salvation is only for Israel. The Most High had plenty of times to place it in the scriptures that He's for all nations, and all nations can be saved, and anyone that believe upon Him can be can be converted to like what they call a spiritual Israelite. And we're gonna deal with that too. That's not a possibility. That's just a figment of your imagination. This dogma created by the so-called white man in his seminary schools. His in his what do you call that, man? In your best your theological schools, man. Your Bible colleges and all that. Let me get into Isaiah. That's all. Because 2/3 of our people, you don't have. The Most High he ain't got nothing but a bad rap from you. You know what I'm saying? Angels are reporting everything you're doing. You're not putting forth any type of effort to please the Most High. This is Isaiah 65:11. It says, "But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare the table for that troop, and that furnish the drinking offering to that number." Because that's going into judgment, man. Matter of fact, let me hold that and get. What that. Bear with me. This is Psalms 11:5. It says, "The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hated." And that's the so-called white man. You loveth violence. The Most High hates you. It says, "Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup." And that cup is going to extend over to 2/3 of our people. Because why? Because you've taken on the ways of the so-called white man. He's put it out there, and you were the snares. You fell into the snares that he put out there, the traps that set forth for you to fall into. For the righteous Lord, for the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright, which is who? The hopeful elect. So if the 1/3 in the elect is upholding righteousness or striving for righteousness, what is 2/3 upholding? You're upholding wickedness. The so-called white man, matter of fact, let me prove that real quick, because you definitely are seduced by the so-called white man. This is one of my favorite scriptures too, to prove that our people have a punishment coming. This is Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. How did the way of the wicked seduce you? It's not in your spirit to be a homosexual, but since the so-called white man gives you the so-called quote-unquote rights through his unrighteous degrees and his policies, they're giving you the ability to be homosexuals and be married, and they're teaching you that it's all right to do that. You did what? You've been seduced by those ways to think that that's okay, because the so-called white man loves to make things that's wicked look righteous and things that's righteous look wicked. He's turning things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay. Why? Because you're not the one that's supposed to be formulating that clay. That's the Most High. But what you're doing is you think you're a God, so you think that you can formulate you think that you're the so-called white man. You really think that you're the potter and the clay, so you get to formulate it and be it. That's what you think, and our people fall into that. Back in Isaiah 65 and verse 12, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, how did he call? He's using me right now to call. And every single brother that puts up videos, that goes out and teach on the highways and the hedges, on the highways and the byways, uploading videos onto YouTube, that's how the Most High is calling. That's how he's speaking to you. It says, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not, which is the breaking of what? The law, statutes, and commandments. The Most High delight not in that. He delights in a man who's striving to keep the law, statutes, and commandments as best as he can. We're matter of fact. This is Judges 5:11. It says, they that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing waters, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Now let's examine that. Let's get to breaking that down. This is talking about, the hopeful elect. They're going to be the ones that's going to rehearse the righteous acts. Let me get a quick precept. But matter of fact, let me just go